Hey guys, welcome to our Jazz After Dark. We're financial advisors here at Jazz Wealth, and we just like to do these things sort of in the laid back time of the day when you can grab a drink, come hang out with me. And we're going to continue our Japanese whiskey theme here this week as much as we can anyways. That's from this thing. I shared it with you yesterday, but just trying the next one here. And this is, well, I don't know what this is called. It's not my favorite, I'll be honest with you, because it's really heavy on like a toffee kind of a flavor. Super smooth, very, very good in that respect, but not my favorite flavor. So it's not that it's bad. It's called Kujira Ryukyu. Kujira and then Ryukyu. I don't know. Less alcohol by volume in this one than compared to last night. It's good. It's just not my flavor. Anyways, I'm going to still finish it. For those of you that are looking for the quick tip here tonight on HSAs and want your news in 30 seconds or less, I'll refer you to TikTok for that. This is not going to be a quick one because I need you to think for a second. We're talking about an HSA and your taxes. We're going to go deeper into what people don't use an HSA for. Like, why don't they make the most out of this? I'm going to give you an example of this is exactly my example for me and my family for 2022. So my wife she has a issue with her foot where she has extra bones or something. Like most people don't have them. And so she has them, and over years of just wearing on them, they've sort of poked into the tendons or something. I do the money, she does the medical, right? So I listen and I smile and say whatever we need to do, but I really have no idea what happened. Just bones. They went through a tendon, and we've tried everything, but she had to have surgery on her foot, and they're gonna like break the bone and do all this stuff. It's major surgery, and so she does the medical, I do the money. My brain is saying, okay, you're gonna be down for a few months. I understand that. How do we make the most out of this? How do we save money out of this? Because there's going to be medical bills. We have insurance and everything, but there's going to be medical bills. So what I did is I started an HSA. Our plan at Jazz Wealth here is HSA eligible by choice. And so I said, well, I'm going to start an HSA, and I'm going to put the max in there. $7,300 is the max. So that contribution comes off of my ordinary income for the year. To this point, you guys likely already know all of this. That's why I said if you want the quick video, the kids, going over to TikTok or something, because I want to take it a step further. If you know you have medical expenses coming up, you're allowed to do this. I put $7,300 in there. And the difference is I don't have any expectation of taking that money out. I'm going to leave it there. I've already invested it, right? So $7,300. Now, an HSA, in the rules of an HSA, they say you're allowed to take this money out for medical expenses. It does not have to be in the same year. It does not have to be next year. It does not have to be 10 years from now. Think about that for a second. So the $7,300 that we put in, I don't need. Medical bills actually weren't that bad. So we just pay for the medical bills. Log those receipts. We have everything included with her recovery. We log all those receipts. It did add up to more than $7,300, but we put all of that, the records of that, in the HSA. Most HSAs have a section where you just snap a picture and you put your bill in there. Now we let it sit. What happens if next year I run short on money, or maybe I want to buy something? I don't know. I want to go on a trip. I'm allowed to reimburse myself for last year's or any year's, as long as I've had the HSA, right? Medical expenses. So I've racked up over $7,300 already. It's closer to 10, right? So next year, let's just say I put in another $7,300. About $10,000 of that I can take out anytime I want, tax-free, and reimburse myself for those medical expenses. In the real world, I don't actually reimburse myself for those medical expenses. I've already paid them. They're clear. It's done. It's gone. Over. Right? Hopefully she recovers great. She's doing great, by the way, and forcing herself to recover faster because she don't sit. So think about what that means. I could get to some retirement age. Now, in an HSA, when you turn 65, you now can treat that like an IRA. So you can take withdrawals out and you pay taxes as you go. I don't want to do that. So right now, if I have about $10,000 that I can reimburse myself for, there will come a year where there's something that I want. Maybe I want to reinvest it in my business. Maybe I want to, I don't take time off, but maybe I'd take some time off and go on a cruise in, Italy or so. I don't know how much they cost, but so maybe I'll go on a vacation. I would take the money out of the HSA, tax-free, and say, hey, IRS, I'm going to take this money out and I'm going to reimburse myself for these medical expenses we had in 2022. And it's about $10,000. And so there goes the money. The IRS says, that's fine, you can do that. They don't care that you already paid the bill. So now I have $10,000 in my hand, tax-free, and I got the deduction for putting the money in the HSA this year. This is that extra layer. How many of you will do that? It's kind of like clipping coupons, right? Like you say, I'm going to save my 50 cents on that. And you get a bunch of coupons there. And then eventually, you just phase out and you're like, I don't know. If it's on sale, I'll buy it, whatever. Well, think about an HSA. You have medical expenses, qualified medical expenses. Put the receipt in the HSA. Make your contributions to it. It's such an important account because you get the deduction on the money going in. And then, sure, if you need it, right, for the medical expenses, that's initially what it's there for. If you don't need the money, let it ride. You can invest it, right? And it's all tax-free. So keep this in mind. The account can grow to $10,000. Let's say I never put another dime in it. It grows to $10,000. I've got $10,000 in medical expenses. I'm not paying tax on the growth. I'm not paying tax on the contribution because I got a deduction on that and I'm using it for qualified medical expenses. It's just that the money's going in my pocket, right? So it's one extra step to think through. But it's like the loan from a 401k. Like, is it good? Is it bad? Like, it's bad for some people. It's good for others, right? It's an option. You got to weigh the option, right? So if it makes sense for you, then maybe you got to do it. I don't see how this doesn't make sense for a lot of people, other than the fact that, and now I've had a drink or two, so I'm going to say this, other than the fact that you're lazy. So many people are lazy about what they do with their dollars. So don't be lazy. Take a step and do that. Now, you may not have a severe medical year, and I hope that's the case, but you'll have medical expenses during a year. We all do. That all adds up. All you got to do, I don't even have my phone. All you got to do is take a picture of the bill with your phone and put it in there. In my HSA, you can actually type the number if you want. That's fine. But do it. Think about that one more time. You get relief by putting money in there, and you get money back tax-free, but there's no real requirement that you have to use it for those bills. Now, you can't do that multiple times, right? So you're taking money out to reimburse yourself for something specific. Those are off the table. So please don't misunderstand that part. I don't want you getting in trouble out there. But really think about that for a second. Like, I'm just sitting around, I think of these things, and I'm like, do people know that? Or am I taking that for granted and I should share that with you? And that actually makes me curious. Let me know. Did you know that, and have you been doing that? Or did I take that for granted and you learned something? I don't know. If not, I'll keep trying. I'll be back again tomorrow night because other than this one, I'm sort of enjoying the Japanese whiskey side of things. What was it? I'm done, by the way, but if you want to stick around, that's fine. Last year, I went with my sister-in-law to Knoxville. She wanted to buy some property, and I acted as her advisor. So we went to Knoxville, and we went to this place. I stayed at the Oliver Hotel in downtown Knoxville. I don't know. And inside the Oliver Hotel, they have a speakeasy. And at the time, the speakeasy code to get in was like your room number, and they'd let you in faster or something. I'm like, I'm in. Let's do this. And the only way to get in was to go around the back, and there'd be a red light in the alley. It was pretty cool. And so when I was in there, I was like, let me pick something I've never had before. It was a Japanese whiskey. It was really good. I had 2 of them and subsequently forgot the name of the Japanese whiskey. But maybe this one was not it, because I don't enjoy this one. Kujira Ryoku. Life stories there. Are you enjoying this? This is fun for me. I'm enjoying this too, and I've got some really good ideas of things to share going forward. It's also kind of a fun time of night for me to do this. I get a second wind, and nice to be able to talk to you guys and share some tips, maybe get you thinking a little bit more about your dough. Anyways, there you go. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and we will see you tomorrow. Adios.